We be live. Hi everyone. Make sure you like the stream. Today we have a very interesting live stream about this guy Hezbollah and everything that is happening in Lebanon right now. I've seen a lot of analysis of what's happening in Lebanon, and I think that this is going to be the most complete stream on what's going on ever. Okay, so you're lucky that you're here because I'm going to tell you things that so completely that maybe you won't hear in other places. And also, please let me know if you disagree with me in the live chat. Gene is here. Gene, thank you for being here, highlighting people's comments in the live chat. Gene, also please star the people that I'm supposed to be reading, the comments that you think I'm supposed to be reading. Guys, make sure that you like the stream and also mention in the live chat that you have liked the stream. Yeah, Gene, please highlight the people that are confirming that they have liked this. So, guys, if you know, I think you all know what's happening in Lebanon. Should I give you an update before we go to what Nasrallah said, what Netanyahu said? Maybe we should do an update, a video that updates people in case you have no idea what's going on, right? So let's first do that. And then this is a good short video, and then we will get into all the amazing videos that are coming from different people. So yeah, let's just get an update first.
Welcome to the news.
Oh yeah, let's do this.
Welcome to the News Hour. For nearly a year, the U.S. has tried to prevent the war in Gaza from expanding, but
which is insane, by the way, because this is the only chance Israel will get to be able to disarm Hezbollah in such a way. This war, given that Israel is already in war with Gaza and the people in Israel see a justification for attacking Hezbollah, this is an opportunity that should not have been missed. Hezbollah at some point would have become too powerful with the Iranian regime's money will become so strengthened to the point where you would not be able to eliminate it anymore. With all the money that the Islamic Republic is making from the selling of the oil and gas that Biden is letting the Islamic Republic to do, even though they're not supposed to, given the sanctions. With all that money, Hezbollah is constantly getting stronger and stronger and stronger. This is basically a challenge to the very existence of Israel as a country. So, given that these mofos started a war with Israel, the Israeli people being reminded that their very existence is, not guaranteed, then responding to October 7th attacks should have been used as an opportunity for Israel to guarantee its existence once and for all. So United States trying to stop Israel from expanding the war to Lebanon is very arrogant and very, these are people who are in Washington making decisions for a country that its very existence is in danger. Like they are not next to these terrorists. They're basically, this is just a political decision rather than something that it makes any pragmatic sense. So I'm glad that most Israelis agree with the fact that Israel has to enter Lebanon and basically try to eliminate Hezbollah's capacity to conduct war. Oh, hey, thank you so much, S Hope, for the super chat saying like the stream, dudes. Well, thank you, S Hope. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the super chat. Anyways, let's continue.
Tonight, there are new concerns of escalation after an Israeli airstrike killed a top Hezbollah commander, following earlier unprecedented attacks on the militant group's communications network. In all,
it's so bizarre that you kill a top Hezbollah commander, and instead of congratulating Israel, you're like, United States is like, oh, we're worried about escalation. Excuse me, sir. Taking out terrorists is a de-escalatory act. The terrorist is escalating. When you take out terrorists, you are not escalating, you're de-escalating. Unbelievable.
Network. In all, more than 35 in Lebanon have died. Thousands have been wounded, and tensions along the shared border are at their highest level in years. Nick Schifrin.
Yeah, these hundreds and people have died, which when one of the most targeted, precise attacks on terrorists conducted ever in the history of mankind. The ratio of civilian to militants in these recent attacks on Lebanon is lower than anything ever achieved in modern warfare. So people are like, oh my God, hundreds of people died. Yeah, look at the ratio of civilian to combatant. This is unbelievably low. This is the best anybody has ever done in warfare.
And reports.
Israel has promised a new phase of the war and is delivering it in southern Beirut, where today an airstrike destroyed an entire residential building, and Israel said it killed Ibrahim Aqil, commander of Hezbollah's special forces, and about 10 of his soldiers.
Do you guys know who this is? Do you guys know who this is? You know who this is? I mean, this man killed so many Americans. This is so unbelievable. America is coming out and criticizing Israel for escalating the war. He took out the guy that killed so many Americans. Do you guys know who this guy is that Israel just took out? United States was looking for this guy for decades. And Israel just, you're welcome, United States. Unbelievable.
About 10 of his soldiers. Earlier this week, Israel's infiltration of Hezbollah's communication network turned Hezbollah walkie-talkies and pagers into bombs. And Israel launched one of its largest bombing campaigns yet, targeting Hezbollah rockets. Thousands of Hezbollah rank and file are injured. The group is in disorder, and after today's strike, without a member of its leadership council.
At the time of the strike, Aqil and the commanders of the Radwan forces were gathered underground, under a residential building in the heart of the Dakhia in Beirut, hiding among Lebanese civilians, using them as human shields. They were in the middle of planning more terror attacks against Israeli civilians.
Aqil was wanted by the U.S. for the 1983 attacks on the Beirut embassy by Hezbollah's predecessor, Islamic Jihad organization, and the Marine Corps barracks attack that killed nearly 300.
So why are you then criticizing Israel for escalating the war? He took out your terrorists as well. This is not just Israel's terrorists. This is United States terrorists. Since basically the year I was born. This is 1983. Hold on.
And the Marine Corps barracks attack that killed nearly.
Do you know how many Americans died in this attack? This was in 1983, right? Hold on, let me see.
Yes, for the 1983 attacks on the Beirut embassy by Hezbollah.
Yes, do you know how many Americans died in this?
Predecessor, Islamic Jihad organization, and the Marine Corps barracks.
I actually forgot the number. If somebody remembers the number, let me know.
Attack that killed nearly 300. Israel says it's trying to return 60,000 displaced from now empty cities in the north and does not want a regional escalation.
No, SF, you're confusing. No, that's a different one.
Now empty cities in the north and does not want a regional escalation. The Lebanese state media says today's attack also killed children, as did this week's attacks, adding to...
Guys, this is what they always do. There is no attack that you could do that would guarantee that no children would die. The fact that, look at the small number of civilians that died relative to the number of terrorists that were killed. This is unbelievably low. This is what the anti-Semites and the enemies of Israel do. Every time there's an attack, they act like you're the evil one, given that some children die, and they try to focus on those children as if this attack was illegitimate. It's unbelievable because these terrorists kill children themselves, and they actually target civilians on purpose. And then your enemy, when they respond to you, they try to go out of their way more than any country ever has, they try to avoid killing children and civilians. And eventually, when some of them die, you make it act like they're evil. See, let me break this down. Let me break this down for you so everybody understands, okay? In modern warfare, the number that has been achievable when it comes to demonstrating your deterrence capability and responding to attacks on your own people is a 4-to-1 civilian to combatant ratio. 4-to-1 civilian to combatant ratio. Israel had managed to get a 2-to-1 ratio in Gaza. In freaking Gaza. In a place where the population density is the second highest in the freaking world, where the enemy does not wear military clothing, where they actually use human shield, where half the population is children. And Israel somehow, by some miracle, in that location has managed, not miracle, this is actually superiority and the humanism of the Israeli military, has managed to get them to a 2-to-1 ratio of civilian per combatant, lower than United States in freaking Gaza. Anybody else would have accepted a higher ratio than 4-to-1 because of the situation in Gaza, but Israel has managed to actually get it lower. But then in Gaza, the strategy is don't mention this ratio, mention the total numbers, because if I mention the total numbers, if the numbers are so high, people would be thinking that Israel is evil. And now in freaking Lebanon, that the ratio is so low that I don't even know if it's calculated. Like you can even calculate it. The targeted attack on the terrorists was so precise that you cannot even measure it in ratio terms anymore. You actually have to hand count the civilians dying. This is unbelievably low. Unbelievably low. The civilian to militant death rate in Lebanon. This should be celebrated as the way to conduct warfare. This should be like, holy Christ, the whole world should be celebrating Israel. How are you doing this? Please, Master, teach us the way. And even with the lowest freaking ratio, they go and find the civilians that are dying and they're like, oh, look, Israel is evil. What are you on? This demonstrates, again, guys, this demonstrates that it doesn't matter what Israel does. Israel will always be seen as the evil party. It doesn't matter how much they try to reduce civilian casualty. If Israel responds in any way, Israel is going to be considered evil. In any way. The only way Israel will not be considered evil is for them not to respond. And even then, they have the original sin of existing. So the only way Israel could be considered not evil is for them to let people come and kill them. That's when they stop existing. That would be the point. That would be that they would not be any evil anymore because they don't exist. That's the standard that we have for Israel.
Pressure on Hezbollah to escalate. Just today, Hezbollah fired 200 rockets into Israel. Despite this apparent momentum toward war, President Biden today held out hope for a ceasefire.
We're going to keep at it till we get it done, but we've got a way to go.
A long way to go, as tonight the focus of the war appears to be shifting north. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Nick Schifrin.
So, guys, so now that you're up to date, this is what we're dealing with right now, okay? So look at this image. Oh my God, I love this country. I love Israel so much. I wish I was Israeli. Look at when Israel comes. You come for our citizens. This is what we do. We come and hunt you down. Every single one of you. Look at this. And guys, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but I think this Ali Karaki guy is also, I mean, there's contradictory reports. I mean, I'm not sure. There are conflicting reports regarding Ali Karaki. But look at this. Look at this. Oh, Nasrallah, you're so lonely. You're going to be alone. You're going to be left alone. Okay, I will read the super chat soon. But look at this graph first. Let's look at this graph. Oh, my God. Okay, so this is remember the Fahd Shuk that was killed, and the beautiful retaliation that Hezbollah did in his response, killing out Israeli chickens. That was a very tragic day for us. Okay, so this is the Fahd Shuk. And this, so the picture that you saw of Aqil, that was an old picture. That's why he looks so young. We finally have a new picture of him. So this is that. But these are, guys, these are all the top commanders. These are the main commanders, the leaders of Hezbollah, right? So look at them. They're all taken out. They're all taken out. The main top guy that is left is this Ali Karaki guy. And I'm getting, guys, can somebody tell me if he's dead or not? Because I'm getting conflicting reports that he's been taken out as well. I'm not sure if he's out or not. Does anybody know about this? But look, guys, it's Nasrallah. Okay, by the way, guys, Nasrallah, I'm not sure if Israel wants to kill Nasrallah, right? So I know people, I mean, I think that people are thinking Nasrallah might be a dead man walking, but there is this theory that Nasrallah shouldn't die. Israel wants him to be alive, and let me know if you understand why. But we will circle back to this at some point. But before we do that, let's listen to this. Yeah, Ibrahim Aqil. So this one, this is the guy that just recently, you saw that missile hitting the basement. Oh, guys, let me tell you how beautiful the progression is. This is why Mossad is the most unbelievably advanced intelligence or institution any country has ever had. Okay, so let me figure. The Ibrahim Aqil is basically what Americans were. They were trying to hunt this man down. I think he had a $7 million reward on him, but Americans were looking for him for a long time for the terrorist attacks that he did in 1983, right? But that missile that they did in Lebanon that hit the basement where all these people were having their meeting, and Israel managed to take out the entire Radwan force, right? This is kind of like the Quds version of Hezbollah, right? So Israel managed to, this Radwan force was basically the most advanced operations that Hezbollah has. And this Radwan force was a whole unit of the most advanced, military leaders and operations of Hezbollah as a whole. And in that missile that Israel hit in the basement of that building, they were all meeting with each other. And with one missile, this entire Radwan force, the top leaders of this entire force, they were all gone in one missile. But here's the question. So how did Israel knew that they were there? This guy, Ibrahim Aqil, was the main guy. This is such an important person. Maybe I should upload that video first. I'll tell you why this guy was so important. Let me actually upload that video before we go to Nasrallah, right? But why was he meeting with all of the key people in this basement of this residential building? By the way, they have their meetings around residents. This is basically copying Hamas, hiding under civilians, basically. But this was a 2-year plan in the making, right? So this is how this started. This is how it started, and now let's get to this point, right? So Israel decides to make an electronic manufacturing firm 2 years ago, okay? And they actually start conducting business normally, selling walkie-talkies and pagers, not just to Hezbollah, but to real customers, So imagine like Mossad operating, doing customer service, doing inventory control, I don't know, all the things that you're needed, like they're just day-to-day operations of actually selling pagers or walkie-talkies or whatever. So that one day they become a legitimate operation enough for them to be able to sell stuff to Hezbollah, right? And then that's phase 1. Phase 2, they start spreading the rumor in Lebanon that we could listen to everything you're saying through your normal phones, right? And I will bring the video from Nasrallah that he fell for this, right? So let me see if I have that video. Yes, let me show you, okay? And Nasrallah falls for this Israeli plan. So let's actually watch that one first. Let's watch this. So Nasrallah says, the cell phone that we hold in our
هي
hands
واللي بإيدنا اللي بايدكم انا ما في.
In your hands, I don't have one.
هيدا الخليه
Brothers and sisters, the cell phone is a tapping device.
اللي بايدكم يا اخوان ويا اخوات هذا جهاز تنصت. كتار بيجي بيقول لك
Whenever Israel attacks the targets, many people are saying
لما بيطلع الاسرائيلي بيضرب هدف العملاء والعملاء.
There are collaborators. You should look for the collaborators. So he's saying that people, these Hezbollah people, they accuse each other of like, oh, you're a Zionist spy. No, you're a Zionist spy. And Nasrallah is like, don't accuse each other of being Zionist spy. The Zionist spy is the phone that you're holding in your hand. That's the so he's saying you should look for the collaborator.
ومحيط العملاء وفتشوا عن العملاء. مش محتاج لعملاء أصلا.
Oh no, so he's saying, oh, so they accuse each other of like, oh, let's look for the spy, let's look at the spy. But he's saying, but Israel does not need collaborators to begin with. I swear to you.
والله مش محتاج عملاء يعني بحلف لكم يمين. ما هو جهاز
You have a tapping device in your pocket.
بجيبتك وبجيبة ابنك وبنتك.
And in the pockets of your son, daughter, and wife. Oh, this is fantastic. Get Hezbollah lead officials to try to take the phone away from their sons and daughters. This is going to cause their sons and daughters to be against them as well. You know, it's really hard to separate teenagers from their phones.
وزوجتك وبالبيت وبالشغل
You have it with you. You have it with you at home, at work, and in the car.
وبالطريق. وهيدا الخلية.
Through this cell phone, they can hear what you say.
بيسمعك شو عم تحكي وبيسحب.
They download everything you have on your cell phone.
كل شيء حاط.
Guys, this means that Nasrallah is responsible for all these people blowing up, all the Hezbollah members blowing up in Lebanon is because Nasrallah told them to go get these beepers. Oh, this is so beautiful. Their death is on your hands, Nasrallah. Oh, sorry, not their death. Mostly their balls, their eyes and their balls is they lost their balls because you fell for it. Oh, the conversations, their messages, and the images. And they can pinpoint your location. They can tell in which room you are. They can tell if you are in the front or the back, left or right. They're closer to you than your jugular vein. Tell them that. Oh, sorry, we should actually change this Quranic verse. They're closer to you than your dick vein. Yeah, that's right. Do the Israelis need anything else? We are providing all this for them. Therefore, we have asked, and I am asking now again, guys. This is Nasrallah's doing. This is why they had beepers next to their balls. That our brothers in the villages, at the border, at the front. Oh, by the way, I'm glad that you're saying brothers, right? Because a lot of people are saying, like, how do you know that Hezbollah was using these beepers? Why would other normal people use beepers, you idiots? It's Hezbollah. Of course, it's Hezbollah using these beepers. And also, from all the explosions from these walkie-talkies and these beepers, why are 99% of them men? Right? If this was just normal technology that people just use on the average life, you will think that it would be in Lebanon. We have Christians, we have Sunnis, we have Shias. You would think that it would be spread across Shias, Sunnis, and Christians. But no, we're saying that the victims are not victims. The terrorists who are dying are Shias mostly. So it shows that this was targeted on Hezbollah, and they're mostly men. They're like, oh no, Armin, you're lying. This was just being used by random civilians. Oh yeah. So women don't use technology, it's just men. And maybe even throughout southern Lebanon. At this point in time, especially the fighters and their families should refrain from using cell phones. This is what Israel wanted. They planned this for Nasrallah. Nasrallah, The collaborator of Israel is you. It's you. You're the collaborator. You made the people buy these beepers. Oh, this is so beautiful.
عطله يا خيي.
Disable it, bury it, lock it in a metal box.
ادفنه، حطه بصندوق حديد وقفل عليه. معلش جماعة.
Keep it there for a week, 2 weeks, a month. God knows how long this will last.
جمعتين شهوة. الله أعلم هاي القصة قد إيه بتطول.
Allahu alam, Allahu alam. Sure, buddy.
من أجل سلام.
Do this in order to protect the people's security, lives, and honor.
وأمن وحفظ.
Wow. Yes, the security was completely protected. Their balls will say otherwise.
دماء وكرامات الناس. هيدا العميل.
These are the collaborators you're asking. Oh, these are the collaborators. You're asking where the collaborators are.
بتقلي وين العميل؟ بقول لك هيدا العميل. الخليوي.
The cell phones, the cell phones you, your wife, and your children hold are the collaborators.
بإيدك واللي بإيد زوجتك وبإيد أولادك. هيدا الخليوي هو العميل. وهو عميل.
The cell phone is a lethal collaborator.
قاتل.
Okay, we get the point. Come on, Nasrallah, we get the freaking point. This is why your speeches are 3 hours freaking long.
أغلب الحالات العم.
Most of the targeting cases are the result of the use of cell phones. Oh my God.
نحن عم نعمل إجراء.
We are talking, this is the, okay, finally. We are taking internal measures. Okay, what measures? Pagers and walkie-talkies instead? And, by the way, pagers, it's impossible for you to put explosives in smartphones, okay? Because they don't have much room left. Like, smartphones are designed in such an intelligent way. In every single space is used in the most efficient way possible. There's no way that you could fit explosive in there without actually making the phone not work, or right. So, but beepers and walkie-talkies, there's enough room there for you to put explosive. There's enough things that you could take out without taking away the utility of the device. But the cell phones have become like oxygen for people. Now he's being a boomer. Okay, boomer. As if people cannot live and breathe without it. Oh wow, even terrorists are boomers.
الواحد ما بيقدر يعيش بلا يتنفس بلا وبيعرف.
People know that this is a taping device.
هذا جهاز تنصت وصوتك عم يوصل.
And that they can hear what you say, what your wife says.
زوجتك عم يوصل، شو عم بيصير عندك بالبيت.
What is happening at home and at
عم
work.
يوصل وبالشغل عم يوصل. ومع ذلك بضل واحد.
But they still keep their cell phones. Guys, Israel, Muslims of the world, anti-Israeli people of the world, Israel is listening to you on your phones. Get rid of your phones. Get rid of your phone. Both Android and Apple, all phones. Israel has something to do with their constructions, okay? Anybody who's anti-Israel anywhere in the world, you're being spied on. You're being spied on. Get rid of your phones. Get rid of your computers. Computers as well. You think that you're going to be safe just because you don't have your phones? If you have a laptop, Israel is listening to you. Israel is using your information. Get rid of all your technology. Okay, guys, let's spread this. This is going to be so good for us. Yes. This is not permissible in Islamic law. Oh wow, really? Which Islamic law? Wow, he's actually issuing a fatwa. I didn't know he's a mujtahid. Does he have the credentials to issue a fatwa? Guys, what is Nasrallah's religious credentials? Does he have that? Does he have the authority to issue a fatwa like this? This is not permissible in Islamic law? Which Islamic law you're talking about?
بالحد الأدنى في مرحلة القتال والمعركة والتهديد.
At least at the time of war, fighting, and threats.
وتعريض.
Then this endangers the lives of others.
أمن وحياة الآخرين للقتل.
Okay. Now let's see. So where did this get us? So we went from a 2-year operation apparently of having being ready to sell pagers and walkie-talkies Then you spread at the day that was needed, at the time that was needed. You spread the rumor that, well, we're listening to you with your phones. Get rid of the phones. And now, who is here to sell you these pagers? The Israelis. Okay, so first, pagers go up. Take out balls and eyes as much as possible. Fantastic. By the way, the fact that so many of them didn't die, but they're injured, is actually a more bigger problem for Hezbollah than they actually died. It would have been, the cost to Hezbollah would be so much less if these people, the explosions were big enough that most of them died. The fact that these people are not capable to do military, to carry out, to be useful to Hezbollah anymore, but they're still alive, that means that there are a cost to Hezbollah, and the cost will continue because they're still alive. This is much more devastating to Hezbollah because they're alive. So boom, boom, boom on one day, and people are like, oh my God, the pagers are killing us. Get rid of the pagers. The next day, the walkie-talkies. This is so beautifully done that they didn't do the pagers and the walkie-talkies at the same time, because doing pagers on one thing and the walkie-talkies next, and then a few laptops and fingerprint devices or whatever, and then after, this is the best way to spread paranoia that, oh my God, every electronic, I don't know what's safe anymore. So Hezbollah was like, we cannot communicate. We cannot use phones. We cannot use walkie-talkies. We cannot use pagers. So what happens? What happens is that the Radwan force, the Radwan force, the people, the top leaders, they cannot communicate with each other from far away. They have to get together to communicate in person. They are forced now to communicate in person. And this is where they are all in one place. And Israel knows that after such a heavy attack, they are forced to meet with each other to figure out what the F are we going to do now. Israel knew that after such a heavy attack, they are forced to communicate with each other to figure out what the reaction is going to be. And they are too paranoid to use any electronics. So Israel was looking at the Radwan force to see where they are going to meet. And as soon as they all were gathered in one place, boom, they were taken out. They were taken out. So do you see how beautiful this entire operation is? So they thought, no electronics, so the only way of communication is face to face. This was a measure of protect. This was their way to say safe. To say safe. We're like, okay, we cannot. But even then, you think face to face you're safe. Face to face you're not safe. So let's see what happened after all of this. This guy. So let me tell you the significance of this Ibrahim Aqil guy. Now I will show you in this video. I have it. Oh, yes, I have it. Let's go to this one.
Hezbollah has been planning to carry out another October 7th. They call it the Galilee Conquest Plan. This attack includes the invasion of communities of northern Israel. The commander in charge of planning and executing this deadly attack plan was Ibrahim Aqil. He was just eliminated in a targeted strike in Beirut, along with senior commanders of the Operations Division and the Radwan Unit. Since 2004, he has served as the head of Hezbollah's Operations Unit, in which he was responsible for Hezbollah's bombing attacks, anti-tank missile attacks, and other military fields. Aqil was responsible for the anti-tank missile attack towards the Avivim post in 2019 in northern Israel, the terror attack at the Megiddo Junction in 2023, and the infiltration attempts of Hezbollah terrorists into Israeli territory to murder and kill Israelis in the current war. Hezbollah has committed many terrorist attacks with impunity, and whose leaders operate openly under the guise of Iran's protection. The blood of thousands of American, French, German, Lebanese, and Israeli civilians has soaked the hands of these terrorist leaders. This is why we are determined to stop them.
So the people who are thanking Israel right now, other than Israelis, are mostly Iranians, right? But the Americans should be thanking Israel. The Germans should be thanking Israel. And obviously, Israelis should be thanking Israel. But Lebanese people should be thanking Israel for saving Lebanon from these freaking terrorists that is ruining their country. So now that you know that how Hezbollah is being basically eradicated, and guys, this is why this war should continue, because Hezbollah will be able to recover from this if this war continues, because the Islamic Republic will keep funding them until they manage to cover their loss. At some point, they will be able. If you give them another decade, if this war ends, and then you give them another decade, they will be able to recover, right? But this is really hard to recover from, guys. Taking out these people is even more important than taking out their military infrastructure. The people like this are so difficult to replace, so that both because of charisma, because of the loyalty that people have to these people, and also because of their experience. These are key figures. It's almost impossible, almost close to impossible. You have to wait for the next generation of these terrorists to grow to make that. They're like, yeah, it will take decades to recover from this. And that's why they shouldn't even be given a chance to recover. Israel should finish the job. But given how Hezbollah is basically being neutered right now, let's look at Nasrallah's reaction to all of these attacks, okay? And I will also tell you why I actually celebrate this response by Nasrallah. So let's listen to what Nasrallah has to say. By the way, guys, make sure you like this stream. Like this stream. We need more people to watch this. Oh, wait, we have some super chats that I need to read. Let's read the super chats and then we'll go to Nasrallah. So Angry Keyboard Warrior saying, in 1985, Hezbollah attacked a restaurant in Madrid that killed 18 people, all Spanish civilians. And now the EU explicitly condemns the pager attack. Wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you for that context, Angry Keyboard Warrior. And then let's go to BGC saying, Jizya for the Republic, pagers for the Virgin Hezbollah. Well, thank you for the Jizya. Thank you so much, BGN. Appreciate that. No, BGC. BGN is a currency. Well, thank you. Yeah, so people are saying, yeah, the banished prince is saying, was not Ali Karaki also killed? That's what I'm saying. I don't like, I'm getting some reports that he's also been killed, this guy, but we don't know. I'm getting conflicting reports. I hope so, because if he is killed as well, then that means that we're to the point where Nasrallah is basically just standing alone. It's basically Hezbollah is just Nasrallah. I think like we're going to get to the point that Nasrallah doesn't even have, like, I don't know where he's hiding, but he probably has people who bring like toilet papers or like food to him. I think at some point he's going to be like, hey, Akbar, where's my food or where's my toilet paper? And like, hey, Akbar is actually dead. And you're like, okay, well, Ali, like Ali is also dead. Like, okay, well, like he actually, I think we're going to get to the point where he actually doesn't have anybody to bring him stuff. Like, I don't know, to bring stuff to his bunker. Oh, by the way, I actually have a video demonstrating that. Let me actually bring that up. This is real footage. I'm joking, by the way. Don't accuse me of lying. Oh, by the way, I have to mute this. This is Sinwar and Nasrallah. Sinwar in Gaza and Nasrallah in Lebanon. The only two remaining leaders of Hamas and Hezbollah left. So the context is that Sinwar has been like, people say that Sinwar is hiding by wearing female clothing. And so Sinwar is the last leader of Hamas that is left. And apparently Nasrallah is the last leader of Hezbollah that is left. And okay, so the song for this one is Staying Alive, but I cannot play it because I will get a copyright strike. Let's just listen a little bit. Yeah, so just imagine staying alive throughout this song, okay? Because I cannot play it or else I'm going to get a copyright strike. So let's just mute it. So this is Sinwar in Gaza, and then we will go to Nasrallah as well. So just imagine saying, staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. Yeah, so this is all right. This is fun. Okay. So let's go back to Nasrallah and see what he has to say. Okay, so let's listen to this. Is his reaction to all of these targeted, precise, beautifully taken military operations by Mossad and IDF in Lebanon. So they're basically pissing their pants. If they had the dicks to do so, I don't know if it's possible. But anyways, let's watch what Nasrallah has to say. So he's saying, no matter what the sacrifices are. So this is basically the sound of somebody who's basically losing, right? This is when people are losing so much. This is the tone that they have. no matter what the sacrifices are, what the obstacles are, what the possibilities are. Okay.
أيا تكن العواقب، أيا تكن الاحتمالات.
Where the horizon, where the horizon that the region goes to. Oh, he's being
أيا يكن الأفق الذي تذهب إليه المنطقة. المقاومة.
The resistance in Lebanon will not stop supporting and backing the people of Gaza. Backing the people of Gaza. Actually, guys, remind me to come back to that. Actually, let me say this right now. You started backing the people of Gaza on what day, guys? When was the date? Can somebody confirm this to me for me in the live chat? When was the date that Hezbollah decided to start throwing missiles at Israel throughout this conflict? Was it when Israel started attacking Gaza in response to October 7th? Was it then? Or was it oh, thank you guys. Thank you. The live chat people are responding. October 8th. October 8th. October 8th. Great job, guys. People started responding October 8th. Yep. You guys know this stuff. You guys, our live chat is very informed. What was happening on October 8th? One day after the greatest attacks on Jewish people since the freaking Holocaust, Hezbollah decided to attack Israel. Was Israel responding on October 8th? What on October 8th did Israel attack Gaza? Was there a response to the Palestinians on October 8th? It's almost as if Hezbollah is not defending the Palestinians against Israel. It's almost as if Israel is supporting Hamas's genocide on Jewish people and all Israelis as a whole. It's almost as if that is the motivation. Maybe you should have waited just for appearance sake, Hezbollah or Nasrallah. Maybe you should have waited for Israel to actually retaliate, for you to attack Israel, just for appearances, for you to we're just defending the Palestinian people. The fact that you attacked Israel with missiles on October 8th suggests to me that your motivations are different. Unbelievable. Let's continue.
المقاومة في لبنان لن تتوقف عن دعم.
So the resistance in Lebanon will not stop supporting and backing the people of Gaza, the people of the West Bank, and the oppressed in the Holy Land. The people. By the way, why is this so censored? Look at this missile. Look at it. They're showing their missiles. Look how careful they have to be. Look, they're showing their missiles, but they basically blurred everything around the missile, because Israel will be able to tell where this missile is being launched from, just from the surrounding, just from the angle of the sun or the shadows or the background. They will be able to figure this out, right? That's why they have to blur the propaganda video. Looks so lame because the missile just looks so weird with all the blurring. Okay, it doesn't look as powerful as before. No military. Oh, so look at this. He's saying no military escalation, no killing, and no assassination, and not even a full-scale war is going to stop them. Well, listen.
لا تصعيد عسكري ولا قتل لا اغتيالات ولا حرب شاملة.
Will be able to return the settlers to their homes. Never, God willing. Really now? Do you know when he's saying settlers? Do you know who he's talking about? He's not talking about like the people in the West Bank. He's not talking about like Israelis in the West Bank. He's talking about Israelis in northern Israel. So he's promising, this is so good. Oh my God, I'm so glad that you're saying that. This is such a lose-lose for you. Because at some point, you're basically giving, I think Nasrallah is a Zionist spy. Guys, I really think he's a Mossad agent. He's a Mossad agent. Because first of all, he's the one responsible for giving all the Hezbollah people the pagers. But now he's also saying that we will never stop allowing Israelis to come back to their homes in northern Israel. Never allow them. So he's basically just giving the green light to Netanyahu to just continue the war. Obviously, the only way Netanyahu will have the political capital for him to continue the war in Lebanon is the fact that so many Israelis cannot go back to their home. So you are basically giving Netanyahu the gift of the political capital that he requires for him to continue the war. And why did somebody edit this video with music trying to make Nasrallah look good? That is your motivation? Oh, these Israeli civilians will never be able to enter their home. I mean, doesn't that make you sound like the evil villain in the story? Okay, let's. Never. They will never. The civilians. You're talking about civilians. They will never go to their home. I will never let civilians enter their home. Wow, this is your hero.
السكان أبدا إن شاء الله.
Inshallah. On the contrary,
بل بالعكس.
What you are up to do will increase the displacement of the people in the north. See, I was right. This is about the civilians in the north, right? So what you are up to do will increase the displacement of he's talking the displacements of civilians. You're taking pride of displacing civilians? Okay.
تقدمون عليه سيزيد تهجير السكان في الشمال. وافعل.
And whatever you want, and do whatever you want. Okay, fine. Okay, guys, Nasrallah is telling Netanyahu to do whatever they want. Guys, this is what I'm telling. They don't care about not just about Israeli civilians. They don't care about their own civilians. This is why Israel is making them so scared, because they're going for their own themselves, because these mofos don't care about Lebanese civilians. They don't care about Lebanese civilians. If Lebanese civilians suffer, they're like, yeah, do whatever you want. It's only when you kill the Hezbollah leaders themselves. They don't even care about Hezbollah people, as long as they're low ranking. They only care about their own lives. Okay, so he said, like, yeah, okay, do whatever you want. Okay, well, thank you for the permission. Netanyahu, if the international community tells you that, what are you doing these to the Lebanese people? You're taking out their government. Hezbollah is the elected officials of the Lebanese people. Then okay, then tell the international community, well, he gave me the permission. He says, do whatever you want. Okay, so I got it from Nasrallah. Hey, why are you showing this? You should have blurred this missile as well. Now, yeah, you should have blurred this. You blurred one and you didn't blur this one. You will not be able to. This is a big challenge between us and you. Yeah, it's not that much of a challenge. Wow. Okay, wow, so strong. So funny. I mean, this is why in Persian we call this Rajaskhoni in Persian. Like, it's like basically barking, and then when it comes to action, you're like, boom. Okay, this is the strength. This is the strength that they want to demonstrate. This is a challenge between us and you. You will never be able to stop us. Blah, 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 blah. This is nothing. Oh, where's the Ponzi Mice? The Ponzi Mice. What is that called? The scene from the this is nothing but a flesh wound. Yeah, this is nothing but a flesh wound. I should have that. I should have that ready for this. For this. Yes. Oh, yeah. I should have downloaded the Monty Python. But yeah. So this is like, oh, we're so strong. We're gonna come for you. We'll never be able to stop us. This is all bark. But in reality, this is reality. This is reality. This is the reality that you're dealing with, right? Yeah, the Monty Python. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So maybe I should download that. Yes. Let me download YouTube. Hold on. I will have that ready for maybe the end of the stream. But let's go to Netanyahu and see what Netanyahu has to say about all of this. And then, yeah, continue from there.
I have a message for the people of Lebanon. Israel's war is not with you. It's with Hezbollah. For too long, Hezbollah has been using you as human shields. It placed rockets in your living rooms and missiles in your garage. Those rockets and missiles are aimed directly at our cities, directly at our citizens. To defend our people against Hezbollah strikes, we must take out those weapons. Now, starting this morning, the IDF has warned you to get out of harm's way. I urge you, take this warning seriously. Don't let Hezbollah endanger your lives and the lives of your loved ones. Don't let Hezbollah endanger Lebanon. Please, get out of harm's way now. Once our operation is finished, you can come back safely to your homes.
Okay, I mean, that was 10 out of 10. I don't know what to say. Again, Israel cares about Lebanese lives more than Hezbollah, in the same way that Israel cares more about Palestinian lives than Hamas. Oh, let me actually go show you how Hezbollah is basically using civilians as human shields as well. Let me show you how that's done, because a lot of people think only Hamas does that and Hezbollah doesn't do that. But let me actually show you that Hezbollah does it as well. But before I do that, let me actually read some super chats. Noam is saying, now that Hezbollah lost 1.5 thousand sausages and Hamas is dressed up like women, I can see why the trans kid in US support them. Hey, now that's not a fair comparison. Okay. No, I don't accept this. I don't like this at all. Okay, this is don't. There are many trans people who appreciate Israel as a state that supports trans rights. Okay, so we have many trans people who are liberal-minded, who support Israel, and I don't think that this insult is to trans people is acceptable, right? So don't attack people for being trans. Attack them for having idiotic positions. Okay, this is an insult to all the trans people. I mean, Jean here, Jean, who's highlighting your comments. Jean, am I correct? Yes, Jean is a Zionist, is a trans rights advocate, Zionist. Okay, so again, not fair. Jean, you could also, if I'm saying anything, yes. Wrong. Okay, so let's go to the next super chat. Yes, Jean is saying correct. By the way, Jean is the person who's highlighting your comments today. The Israeli Zionist trans, both trans and trans rights activists. So thank you, Jean, for your service here today in this live stream. So the Great Menace is saying people forget the crimes that Hezbollah did in Argentina in 1992 and 1994. They were declared in April as crimes against humanity. Yes, thank you for that reminder. And also, Sid, thank you so much for the 20 rupees super chat. Appreciate that as well. Anyways, let's watch this video, and for you guys to see how Hezbollah, it's not just Hamas that uses human shields, it's Hezbollah as well.
This is southern Lebanon. There are dozens of Lebanese villages along approximately 80 kilometers of the border with Israel. For over 20 years, Hezbollah has deployed its arms, such as cruise missiles, rockets, launchers, and explosive UAVs inside civilian homes hidden behind the Lebanese population. Let's look at an example that we identified a few weeks ago. This is a Russian-made DR-3 cruise missile hidden inside of a home. The IDF identified the terrorists making an opening in the building that exposed the missile. We are monitoring these activities, locating the weapons and eliminating them with precise intelligence-based strikes. The IDF is operating and will continue to operate in defense of the citizens of Israel wherever required.
Yeah, so also let me actually show you this. Wait. So I don't know. Okay, so guys, I have so much more to cover, but I don't want to keep this live stream very long. I do want to criticize something of that Israel has done, that the IDF has done, that I do not agree with as a free speech advocate. Okay, and I want you guys to see if I'm correct. All right. Because a lot of people think that we are here dogmatic, that we just support everything Israel does. No, I don't support. I'm not this black and white. Okay, One reason I love Israel is because Israel is self-critical. Israel has so much media. The best criticism against Israel comes from Israeli media, right? So, and I agree with a lot of that criticism against the government in Israel as well, right? So, for the sake of also showing that I am not, dogmatic, and when it comes to my support for Israel, I want to show you something that I don't agree with, right? So let's watch this. This is basically Israel forces raided Al Jazeera in the West Bank, and basically they shut it down, Al Jazeera in the West Bank, okay? And let me just be clear. I am against Al Jazeera, especially Al Jazeera Arabic is a propaganda arm. I believe, especially, so Al Jazeera, we have Al Jazeera Arabic, Al Jazeera English, and AJ Plus. So Al Jazeera English is somewhat better, but Al Jazeera Arabic and AJ Plus, full-on propaganda. Completely agree that they're propaganda, and also they're supporting terrorism. Completely agree. But at the same time, I believe in free speech. I do not agree with shutting down media arms, even if they're spreading propaganda. Even if they're spreading propaganda, I'm against that, right? So let me know if you agree with this, but this is basically Israeli forces raided the Al Jazeera in the West Bank office, and they closed down their offices. I do not agree with this. I am against this. And I just wanted to include this to show you that as much as I'm a Zionist, and I'm very aggressively supporting Israel, but that doesn't mean that I'm black and white. Every country does things that that are not correct, and this is one of the things that I think is true with Israel, right? Somebody saying free speech during war is not given. That's nonsense. Free speech exists during war. Right now, for example, like Haaretz, for example, is criticizing Israel left and right all the time in Israel, and Israel is not shutting that down, even though it's very, very critical of Israel policies, and there's war. In fact, you need free speech mostly during war. What are you talking about? To make sure that the war is being conducted in the proper way and the rules of engagement are being followed, you need free speech mostly. In fact, if you need free speech, the most is during war. What are you talking about? So, free speech, like, no. We need free speech always, especially during war. But let me, so Gene, the people who have opinions of this, like, star them so that maybe after I play this video, I'll see what their opinions are. And again, I might be wrong, but I don't know. I am right now, my position is that I do not support this. So let's watch this. Israeli forces raid and close Al Jazeera West Bank office. And so he's asking what's the reason. So it's written in paper. So he's saying it's written in the paper, and so the Al Jazeera guy is saying, give me a copy of it. So the soldier is trying to explain the Al Jazeera person that we have to shut this place down and we have orders. And so the soldier is saying, of course, I will give you a copy of it. For any questions, you can go to the military commander. Okay, so we close. He's asking, so we close. How much? By the way, they're calling it a raid, but it's being done very politely, and the soldier is explaining to him. He's giving the paper. So the way it's being conducted, it's not very aggressive. So we can say. So the soldier is like, yeah, of course, I will give you the paper. If you have any complaints, this is where you could go. Okay, we will just take we're obliged to leave. Okay, so this was just them leaving us. Okay, let me see if you guys agree or disagree with me. So Mu was saying Al Jazeera staff was holding October 7 hostages. They have every right to shut Al Jazeera down. Okay, so that specific Al Jazeera staff, those should be arrested and punished, but you cannot shut down an entire media because they have some criminals in them. That's not how it works, right? I mean, they have, when you're talking about rights, guys, we're not talking legally, we're talking morally. Because if you're talking about rights, right now the rights in West Bank is set by Israel. So of course they have the rights because they can give themselves the rights. But I'm talking more morally. I mean, if you define the law in the West Bank, you will give yourself the rights to do whatever you want. Of course they have the right, right? I'm not talking from a legal sense. I'm talking from morally. Should we be supporting this or should we be against this? Like, as for free speech, like if I find some criminals within a media organization, and with that excuse, I should be able to shut down the entirety of that media institution. Is that how it works? Because then the free speech is being challenged here. If that's our standard. Somebody's saying, I am pro free speech, but you should not let enemies spread propaganda in your country. When you say I am pro free speech, but that means you are not for free speech. Free speech doesn't mean that the speech that we agree with should be free. Free speech means the freedom of all speech, including propaganda. That's what free speech means. Again, I'm not in support of Al Jazeera. I hate Al Jazeera's propaganda, right? But again, free speech means that speech that you don't like, including propaganda, should be allowed. Oh, we got a yeah, somebody, thank you for the clarification. They said they only shut it down for 45 days. So yeah, so they will be allowed to operate again. However, when it comes to free speech, I am very, very aggressive regarding to protecting free speech. That's why this is a sensitive topic for me. I don't agree with 45 days either. Okay, and I say this as somebody who's also against Al Jazeera's, especially its Arabic arm. So we got a super chat by the great Red Menace is saying, I don't see how Al Jazeera is a legitimate medium when they're doing fake news and propaganda for genocide, Holocaust denial, slavery, and mass murder. Okay, so pay attention, great Red Menace. I didn't say they're legitimate. I didn't. When you defend free speech, you are not defending the speech because you agree with the speech. You're not defending the speech because you're thinking they're a legitimate medium of spreading the news. That's not the point. The point is that it's speech, even if it's wrong speech, even if it's propaganda, it is still speech. Yes, I agree. It's fake news, it's propaganda for genocide and Holocaust denial. Yes. Do you want to ban Holocaust denial? Do you think that banning Holocaust denial is the right way to go? Banning Holocaust denial, for example, is the best way to spread Holocaust denial. And again, if you guys are talking about propaganda, shutting down Al Jazeera is the best propaganda against Israel. The footage of them shutting down Al Jazeera, this works in their favor. If they want to be the victim, if they want to make Israel look evil, shutting down a media outlet is a perfect way. I mean, basically, Al Jazeera is not going to suffer from this. They're going to reopen in 45 days. But you made them look more legitimate for the people who you're turning them into heroes. You're basically giving them. They will wear this. The fact that they were shut down, they will wear this as a badge of honor. That, I mean, look at us. We must be the only fair one. They're not shutting down any other media outlets. They're shutting down us. So people are going to tune into Al Jazeera even more after they open. Okay, so Vic is saying, Armin, I agree. Fight propaganda and lies by presenting honest, compelling arguments, not by denying the principle of free speech. Yes, the best way to fight bad speech is not by shutting down bad speech. The best way to fight bad speech is with good speech. This person is saying, you are wrong. Many helped the Palestinians and kept hostages in their homes. I don't know whether I'm wrong. I don't know what this is referring to. Oh, you're talking about Al Jazeera staff? Again, that doesn't still... Guys, even freaking terrorists should not be censored in what they're saying. We want to hear what these people have to say. Even people who are actually been involved, let alone you want to shut down an entire media operation by association with some of their members doing criminal stuff that they should be punished for. That is not how free speech works. So Noam is saying there are Muslims in Israel. You have to ban these channels to avoid extremism. Banning these channels actually helps extremism, because the information that Al Jazeera is spreading will get to these people one way or another. What are you going to do? You're going to shut down all of internet, all social media. By banning them, you're actually going to give them the idea that these positions must be the correct one. If your way of fighting these positions is by shutting it down, that means that you must not have the correct position, and that's why you have to resort to shutting us down, and that actually verifies that we actually do hold the correct position. Shutting down these, again, if you want to fight extremism, you have to show people why this is wrong. Shutting down propaganda, shutting down the promotion of extremism actually is going to embolden extremism. That's how it works all the freaking time, most of the time. Let me see. Somebody else is saying, Armin, I'm not sure if it's only a news office. I could very well be that they are shut down for terrorist adjacent activities. Yes, if right now the information that we have is that they're shut down because of spreading propaganda or incitement or stuff like that. That's why I have this criticism. If new information comes about that, oh no, they were actually involved in terrorist operation, then I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll shut that down. Like, obviously, my position will change if that office itself is involved in conducting terrorist activities, or at least providing cover for terrorist activities in their office or something. Then I would be completely for shutting them down. That's not speech anymore. That's being involved in terrorism, right? But right now, my position in criticizing it is with the understanding that this was shut down because of propaganda or incitement or stuff like that, not because they're actually involved in terrorist activities. That's my understanding. I will change my position as soon as I have new information. Oh yeah, guys, please make sure you like the stream. And okay, we're already over. Let me actually, SF is saying, funny how Western Muslims complain about this in Palestine, many Muslims, okay, Syria, Lebanon, Iran, and Yemen, but when it comes to Arab Muslims, they celebrate their martyrdom. Yeah, it depends on who you're talking about. The opinions are kind of diverse, but I know which type of people you're referring to. This, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but it's saying, this gives me an ominous feeling of the first Israeli-Lebanese war. Israel was as far as Beirut, but the U.S. told them to stop, and thus Hezbollah grew to what it is. Yeah, I mean, Israel, I'm hoping that Israel just doesn't listen to international pressure at this point, and I hope they actually go and finish the job. I really do. Kaj Dorn is saying, why does Lebanon allow Hezbollah to operate underground? Well, because Hezbollah has a bigger army than the actual Lebanese army. They don't have any choice. Because of the Islamic Republic in Iran, the government there has funded and armed Hezbollah to the point where they have the strongest military force in that region. So Hezbollah is so powerful, you can't get rid of them. This is why Lebanese people should be thankful to Israel, because the only force that could come and cleanse Lebanon from Hezbollah is Israel. No, I'm saying, I think our government doesn't want to hit Khamenei or Nasrallah as Shias look at them as some kind of prophets. Well, okay, so I thought Muhammad was the last one. All right, so the reason I think Nasrallah and Sinwar, the reason I think maybe I'm not sure about this, Sinwar is alive because Israel wants them to be alive. Because if you kill Sinwar, for example, in Gaza, then the international pressure would be more on Israel that, okay, it's done then. Like, there are no Hamas leaders left, so get the hell, stop the war in Gaza. And I don't want Israel to stop the war in Gaza until they manage to completely destroy all military capabilities of Hamas and shut down all the tunnels and maintain control over Gaza. And I think Israel kind of might need Sinwar alive because for them to justify staying in Gaza. if civil war dies, people are like, okay, then what the hell are you doing in Gaza anymore? Everybody's dead. Everyone's died. Get the hell out of there. So maybe Israel knows exactly where civil war is and are capable of taking him out. And they're like, okay, yeah, it's not your time. It's not your time. And maybe that's also true with Nasrallah. I mean, Nasrallah himself is just a mouthpiece. He doesn't have any military know-how or experience. So maybe taking out Nasrallah would make me would people like, okay, then it's done. There's no more Hezbollah leaders left. So Nasrallah should also stay alive for Israel to be able to finish its operations in Lebanon. That maybe. Let me know what you think. If we agree with that. Oh, well, thank you. Black Angel saying, Armin looking good. Love that haircut. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe you should speak to my wife. She doesn't like it at all. Okay. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for being here. Guys, wow. Many people were watching the stream both on YouTube and on Twitter. We had like 9. At some point, we had like close to 1,000 people watching. Guys, the Twitter people, make sure you come over on YouTube and subscribe to Atheist Republic on YouTube. Subscribe to Atheist Republic on YouTube. If you are subscribed, guys, make sure you hit the bell notification so that when we go live, YouTube tells you. Make sure you hit the like button. The like button, hitting that this is a gift to the YouTube gods so that they might bless this channel and help us grow. Please do that. And also, if you want to do a bigger sacrifice and help this channel even more, after the stream is over, leave a comment. Your comments will increase the engagement on this channel, and it will help the channel grow, all right? And I do spend some time. Again, I'm honest. I don't read all the comments, but I read a lot of them, okay? I could lie to you and tell you I read all the comments, but I'm being honest with you. I try to read as many comments as possible, but I don't get to all of them. But I read a lot of them. So please leave comments in the live chat. Oh, and also Alfred is here saying, if you guys have some time, we'd love your help during our live streams by highlighting comments. It's easy, and if you watch a couple of the streams a week, you can be good help and part of our team. Well, Alfred, you should also provide an email or something for people to be able to contact you when you're advertising that, right? But thank you, Alfred, and thank you again to Gene for highlighting people's comments today. That makes our streams a lot more enjoyable because this stream is not just me talking. You see, when the comments are being highlighted, you get to see the reaction of the people in the live chat as well. So this is like, it's just not my opinion, it's the community's opinion as well. This is why our Gene and Alfred are making our streams so much better. So thank you to you guys. And thank you to Dolly for preparing all of these videos for me to have them ready for you guys. And thank you for you guys for liking the stream. And shame on you for anybody who is watching the stream without liking it. What the hell is wrong with you? Just like it right now. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go. Bye. Stay liberal.